Hi everyone, and welcome back to an Unreal Engine 4 tutorial. This tutorial was voted for by my patrons and my YouTube members. So if you want to have an impact on the channel and what videos are made, head over to patreon.com/RyanLoley or become a YouTube member and you can vote on the new poll at the start of each month. So this video is all about creating a weighted loot table. What is a weighted loot table? Well, a loot table is a collection of items that an enemy or boss can drop. And a weighted loot table is you giving a certain percentage chance per item. So some items may be more common than others when they're dropped. This is typically found in RPGs. So we're going to replicate this system in Unreal. And we're making an actor component so we can add it to anything we like that will have a loot table. So I'm going to right click first of all and start my actor component. So go new blueprint class and choose actor component. And this is going to be called loot table. Inside your loot table, we need to actually set up the actual table itself, and that's going to be stored as a map. So go to your variables list and choose new variable. I'm going to call mine loot table. And the variable type for this depends on how you're doing your loot. So for this example, I'm going to use a string. But you could use an integer, for example, if you're doing like a lookup table, or it could be an actual actor reference, or whatever you really want. It's got loads of options you could do. There's loads of ways of doing loot. But for the purpose of this, being able to choose a random value based on a weighted loot chance, I'm going to use a string. If people really want it, let us know in the comments, and I can do you an extra video on top of this, which goes through the actual spawning of items that drop on the floor, and you can actually see see them physically in the world. So, as I said, this needs to be a map. So, I'm going to click on the little pill icon and choose the bottom icon. And the second value, the values, will be an integer. So, your string will be a key and integers will be your values. And integer refers to basically how common that value actually is. In fact, let's make it a float to be better, I think. So, the float is going to refer to the chance of that item appearing. Okay, and it's not going to be stored like a percentage chance or a fraction, but rather it's going to be stored as just a value. Okay, it'll make sense in a second once we put it together and I can explain how it works. So once I've got that, I'm going to hit compile and I'm going to create some basic examples here for my loot table. I'm going to go helm, and this has a loot chance of say 5. I'm going to say mace has a chance of let's say 10, and I'm going to say my chest piece has a chance of 3. Let's do 4 actually, and let's do a gem as a chance of 1. So these chances 5, 10, 4 and 1 are basically the best way to imagine it. The way I've explained it to people in the past is imagine like they're tickets in a raffle. So we are writing out 5 helm tickets, so 5 tickets with helm written on it, 10 tickets with mace written on it, 4 with chest, and 1 with gem. And we put them all into a bucket and we shake them all up. The process is that we're going to choose one at random, and then we'll go through our list and see whether or not it is that one. So we'll pick up one ticket out. Is it helm? Yes or no? If it isn't helm, then we can get rid of all the helm tickets. We then look at chest. We'll look through the chest ones and so forth and so forth and so forth until we get the one we need. Hopefully it makes more sense when you actually see the code in practice. So this is fairly straightforward in sense of code in terms. So we're just going to have 2 functions. So the first function is going to be the calculate sum, because this will need to calculate how many of those tickets we have in our hypothetical bucket. So our calculate sum is going to do a running total check to count up the amount of values we have. So in our calculate sum, we're going to drag our loot table out and choose get. And then from there, we're going to type in values to get an array of all the values inside our loot table. And the values refers to the right hand side column, so the 5, 10, 4 and 1. So what we're going to do is going to add all these up. Now the way we do that is we've got the array here, do a for each loop, and the for each loop is going to store a running total. So I'm going to make a new local variable and call this running total, And the type for this is going to be a float, and it's not going to be a map, it's just going to be a regular old single variable. And compile that. So that starts at 0, and as we go through the for each loop, we're going to get our running total and add a new float to it, and that's going to be our array element. You're going to add these together and store it back into your running total. Now the idea of this, the reason why we have to use a local variable is because we need to reset running total back to 0 every single time we calculate this. So store running total, like so, like so, like so. And when it's completed, we need to output that running total. So I can calculate sum, I'm going to click on that and add a new output and drag that down to completed. And the output for this is going to be the total sum. And that's going to be a float. I'm going to hit compile and go back to the event graph. Now on the event graph, we're going to create a custom event called drop loot. And drop loot is going to drag that calculate sum out first. And then we need to store that sum as a value. So I'm going to drag that out and promote to variable. And we're going to call this one value sum. Now the second function we need to add is the actual picking of our loot. So I'm going to go into new function and call it choose loot. Now on choose loot, as I said, we need to imagine like a raffle ticket, like a box. We need to pick one ticket out at random. So first simulate that. So I'm going to drag my value sum out, choose get, and we need to random float in range. And the value sum we need to go into the max. So disconnect it from min, put it into max. So we've got a value between 0 and the maximum value of tickets we have. And we're going to store that as a value here. So I'm going to click local variable and call random value. Again, you want it local because you need that value to reset every single time you drop loot. Once we've got that, we're going to drag our loot table out and then do a for each loop for this. Oh, not for each loop, sorry. Get keys first of all, and then for each loop for that. Like so. So the keys are all the things on the left hand side, the helm, mace, chest, and gem in this instance. And we go for each one and we're going to use their value to compare it against our random value. So let's go and drag our loot table out, choose get, and then search for the function find. So this is going to be finding our value based on what one we're looking at. So for example, helm for instance will be first, and it will find helm first of all and get its value. We're then going to get our random value that we've chosen earlier and check whether or not that is less than this float here. If it is less than, we're going to put it into a branch like so and plug that into the loop body. So if the random value is less than the value in the loot table, we're going to output that piece of loot. If it isn't, then we need to recalculate and check again. So let's do the output first of all. I'm going to click on choose loot and new output. And the type is going to be a loot and string. And let's plug that at the end here into true. And the array element will be the output there. Again, this is a string in this case, but this could be anything you want. This is just the loot that you're referring to. I'm just going to output it to the screen. So I'm just using a string. So false is where it gets a bit more mathematical. So what's actually happening, we need to take away all the tickets related to helm. So we're going to drag random value out and choose set. And the random value is going to be the random value minus this value. So we now got less tickets to draw from. So let's run through this and check the maths behind it. So we can get random value. So for example, how many tickets do we actually have? We have 5, 10, 19, 20. Okay, 20 tickets. So we have 20 tickets in play, which is a random value. Let's say we pick the value of 12. Okay, 12 is going to look at all the keys, and we're going to look at the first one, helm, and that's the value of 5. Is 12 less than 5? No. So then it goes down to here. So what will happen now is random value, which was 12, minuses this one. So random value becomes 7. So 7 gets chosen and it goes to the for each loop again and looks at the next one. Now the next one is mace and that's got a value of 10. Is random value less than 10? Yes it is. Therefore output mace. Let's do another example with a higher value. So we choose a random value and let's say we choose like let's say we choose 19. 19 goes through and we now find the value for helm. Is 19 less than 5? No. So random value now becomes 14. Is 14 less than 10? No. So it becomes 4. Is chest is 4, so is 4 less than 4? No. So it'll go round again, and then finally it'll choose the last one because 4 minus 4 is 0. Random value becomes 0. Random value is less than 1. Therefore, it'll output the gem. Okay. So I'm going to hit compile and go back to our event graph. Hopefully that makes some sense. Okay. It is a bit mathematical, I understand, and it can lose a few people. But hopefully I'll try to explain it as best I can. So after we do the calculate sum, we're going to drag that choose loot function in. And after you do choose loot, this is where you actually handle the actual dropping of the loot, whatever it may be it dropping on the floor, adding it to the player's inventory, whatever it may be. In my case, I'm just going to print it to the screen with a print string function, printing the loot there. So that is our loot table done. We can close that, and now we can go through the process of adding it to a enemy. So let's add an enemy in. Blueprint class, character, and we'll call this one enemy. I'm just going to give it a basic static mesh of a cube, and just give it a bit of a form to it. And then I'm going to add our loot table to it. So anything you want to have a loot table, you can add this component to it, like so. And with it selected, you can go over to the right hand side and see the loot table available to you. And you can change this however you like. You can add more values to it. You can add whatever you want. You can add as many things you like to the loot table. Okay, you can keep going further and over and over. And you don't have to worry about what these values add up to because we've got a variable value sum. So it's going to change based on whatever these values add up to. So you can go nuts. Okay, you can tweak the loot if you want. So if you want to say, been playtesting, and I think the mace drops a bit too often, so I'm going to change it down to 8, for example. Okay, it's still more common than everyone else, but it's not as common. Okay, the gem will still take 8 more times luck to get than the mace, for example, because the gem's just 1. I'm going to do event graph, and I'm just going to do a hit event, and when it's hit, I'm going to drag the loot table component out and choose drop loot, and that's all there is to it. I hit compile, push play. Actually, I'll put it in the world first. Hit play. Oh, whoops! It seems to be just doing helm all the time. I'm guessing that I've made a mistake somewhere. Oh, here we go. I didn't plug in my return value in my calculate sum, so I'll drag my running value into it, like so. Now test that out again. Gem, helm, chest, mace, helm, mace, 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 helm, mace. So you can see like mace is appearing most because that's the most common one, but it is totally random. And there you have it. Random weighted loot tables. As I said, if you want to see another episode detailing, showing how to drop items onto the floor and actually show that, and maybe I'll probably do it as like a data table so you can see how I use it with data tables, which is very useful if you've got a game with lots of loot. Okay, so data tables are really useful for that. But let us know in the comments if that's something you want to see. Thanks very much for watching. And again, if you want to vote on the next video, head over to patreon.com/RyanLaley, and you can find the next vote up there at the start of each month, or become a YouTube member there as well, and you'll find it at the start of each month there. Thank you to all of my supporters for their support. This wouldn't be possible without you guys, so massive thank you to all of you and your generosity. That's it from me, and I'll see you all next time. Bye bye.